Hello, good afternoon, everyone. September 3rd, proving to be an interesting day. September 3rd, 2020. Very interesting. I do have the SPY up. Let me get the live stream up as well so I can see you guys as well if you have any questions. I just got finished teaching some people all about TradingView and how to use the platform. So very, very good class. Lots of good people asking questions. Of course, there's lots to learn with the charting platform. So here we have it. We have TradingView up right now with the SPY pulling back today. We have taken out 5 days, the past 5 trading days on the SPY. Hey Julio, hey Asif, Apple. Yes, for sure, we will look at Apple. It's definitely coming down. Let's go ahead. If you guys see the whisper list, this is from Stephanie Cameraman. If you guys are new to following me, first of all, please go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you guys can get awesome videos like this. I do work in the training pit, which is at thedarkpools.com. We do follow the dark pools. So this sort of pullback was not abnormal. If you want to learn more about it, come over to thedarkpools.com. And let's go ahead and get into those charts. Okay. So we are right here with the SPY right now, and it has pulled below. I do have the avalanche up behind me. Why? Because we might have that avalanche roll down the hill. We might see that we will have this massive move to the downside. Let's go ahead and pull it on over to my list right here. So we've got Apple. You guys know I talk about Apple almost every single day. Apple and Microsoft. Just playing around with the little logos there, taking a bite out of Apple profits. We also have Shawn from TraderTV.live coming up. He will be with us right at 12:30, just about 10 more minutes. Already have him waiting in the green room, so he is ready to go when we are ready to bring him on. So Apple, we have pretty much taken out the past 2 weeks, right? So all of this consolidation volume, if we close below this, we might be heading down further, down to that next level down here around roughly 116, and then down further 113. We might even see it pull all the way back to this 106 area as a potential entry. You guys know I love my 425 on my 45-minute chart. And look at that, Chile. Where did we bounce off of that 425? Coincidentally, if we look at it on the weekly chart, I don't know why I went to the 4 hour, excuse me. Let's go to the weekly chart right here. If we go to the weekly chart, that's roughly the 4 EMA. So on the 45-minute chart, we have that as roughly a 4 EMA on the weekly chart. So YouTube sucks as it's only notifications of a live stream right when it's happening. Oh, it's okay, Julio. I was a little bit late in getting set up today because I was teaching, so no worries about that. So with the SPY, we've got that pullback. We'll look at it on the 45-minute chart. You know, for me, I am always looking for that 425. So I'm not going to fully put on my bear hat until we go below 343. Now, obviously, we've started to pull back. We have this downward trend line. We might see that they are right here around that 200 SMA on the 45-minute chart. If we close below it, that's going to be somewhat bearish to me, but I don't put that full bear hat on for myself until we go below that 4 EMA on the weekly. Sometimes they could just be pulling it back. Look, we went above this channel. It's not surprising that we're pulling back. Microsoft has had a big pullback today. Are we below that channel? No, we are still in that channel. And look, we're bouncing off of that 425 as well. So Apple and Microsoft are bouncing off of that 425 on the weekly chart. If we see that we close below it, there's a chance that they might pull the market down further. However, right now we are above it, so I've still got my bull hat on. We could even potentially pull back down to the low down here of 213.80, and I would have an opinion that I would still be bullish. We would still be in the upward trend on the daily chart for Microsoft, even if we came all the way back down here. it looks overly dramatic right now because we were so high up, right? But we could pull back to this 20 SMA and I would still feel confident that we are bullish. So I was prepared for this pullback to happen. And you guys have heard me say, be cautious, be aware, it might happen. Today's the day that it did happen. You know, in my opinion, I'm still feeling bullish on the market, probably at least through the end of next week, if not up until election time. Because I feel that the market might be propped up until then, and then we might have a pullback at that point in time. So let's go ahead and look at the list that we had today. So we had 5 that does have earnings. This is going to be earnings that came out, and it gapped up, pulled back. Now it looks, let's go to our 9-minute chart here. Looks like we might have potential move if we're able to go ahead and stay above this 90 SMA right here. If we can go ahead and hold above this, and especially close above 129, I think we might see a 130 test. You can see it did come all the way up here to 131 after hours yesterday. We also had Costco, major move to the upside. Yes, it's pulling back. I was showing I have a simulated trade on with a stock screener for a longer term potential swing. Also, look, here we are at that 425 EMA. It just keeps showing up as a potential point for support, right? So if it closes below, I would go ahead. I actually have, I can show you guys too. If you go to settings, so my theoretical trade, my paper trade that I set up, I got in with 100 shares. I have my loss all the way back down here at 349 and my potential profit up here at 372. So we'll see if it goes and it takes out my paper trade, and then if it goes up, great, even better, right? So just a theoretical paper trade. I do have Shawn. We just got the reminder that we will be going live with him in just about 5 minutes. Thank you, TraderTV. Awesome of you to come and hang out with us today. All right, let me go ahead and take this off and take this off. And there we go, back to the chart. We also had DraftKings today. Pretty much everything is pretty much showing red, just like the market. Sympathetically, everything is trading to the downside today. Lots of great price movement to go ahead and bring it down to the downside. We had CrowdStrike. They had a crazy run up yesterday and then more of a pullback today, right? So we had this crazy run up, pulled back, closed, couldn't hold above the high from Friday. Wait, today's Thursday, excuse me, Tuesday. And then came down. Now we're testing that 8 EMA moving average, almost closed the gap down here to 125.89. We might see that there's going to be some support that's going to come in. If we were to do really quickly a fib retracement, so if we were to do it from the gap here, we are down at 78.6%. Is that going to hold, or is it going to pull back even further? If we go all the way back down right here, we're roughly at the 38%. Sounds like there's crazy sound going on. All right, let me go ahead and test the audio here with Shawn and see if we can go ahead and bring him on a little live early. So, hello, Shawn, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Shawn? Let's see if it's gonna work. Hey there, Shawn. Can you hear me? You are muted at the moment. I see that you are muted. Let's go over here.
Okay. Am I, yeah, unmute?
You're unmuted. Awesome.
Perfect. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you doing today?
Actually, really good, despite the market volatility. Are we on your show live now?
You are 100% live right now, yes.
Great. Thank you for having me on, and it's been a fantastic day. And I just finished 3 hours of nonstop talking, and my voice still seems to be okay. So we're ready to rock and roll. How was your morning?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I got done teaching. I was a little bit late to the live stream today. Did you want to show charts today, or you want me to pull up some charts while we're talking?
I'm not at the right spot for my charts
Okay.
today, but we could do it maybe another time. But for you, I'll analyze whatever chart you want to throw up. But magic hands right now. I'm at our news desk.
Okay.
Here from TraderTV.live, and I don't have chart accessibility yet.
Not a problem. Well, I will go ahead. I will hang you out here on the side. Was there anything in particular you wanted to talk about for your trading day today?
I mean, basically, look, this is the important thing about trading today. I think we all saw, and we talked about this on the show early. We saw the VIX, and I'm not sure, I missed what you were talking about early on, but the VIX has sort of been ramping up the last couple weeks, touching that 24, 25 level, which to me was super strange a little bit because the market was touching all-time highs, and at that point, you normally see the VIX, down to 12, 13, 14, 15 historic lows, not lows, but levels where it's at when the market is highs, and all of a sudden, it was ramping up, we broke out today, and now you're seeing what the S&P 500 is doing. So we were telling a lot of our viewers today that, yeah, we were looking short side for most of these names, and of course, some names that I was trading today, JP Morgan, Walmart, were to the long side because I think there's a little bit of a switch to value investing and away from some of those tech names. So Apple, the Googles, I mean, I'm sure you've gone over this, Facebooks of the world, Microsoft, but Apple, Jane, is down 7+% at one point. Like,
yep.
And I know you talk about dark prints and all that stuff, but that's a surprise to me. I can't remember the last time Apple was down this much in one day. So that's a little surprising to me. However, it's not a surprise in the way that I believe there's going to be a rotation back into some of the banks. They've been a laggard as well. So we did talk about that, and I know you have your watch list as well that you send to your subscribers. We have one as well at Trader TV. So we were talking about some of these names today, and they actually paid off quite nicely.
Very nice. Yeah, I've got the VIX up. Something that I am seeing as well on the VIX is that every time that we hit the 50 SMA on the daily, it tends to pull back. Normally, you're right, it tends to go down to 12 or 13 when we're hitting a high. I think with Corona, it was propped up and it never really went there. I think potentially that, yes, at that 24 area where we found the consolidation down here, and now we're hitting that 50 simple moving average. And every time that we've gone up and we've hit it, it's either been the 50 simple moving average or the 90, and that we've pulled right back down. So it will be interesting to see if this is simply a temporary sell-off to go ahead and buy in for the big guys and go ahead and bounce it up. On my daily chart for the SPY, we are still in an upward trend. We're still in an upward channel. Same thing with Microsoft and Apple. So it could have just been that we were super overextended. And hey, people are taking some profits. They're drawing it back down and going to jump in lower. And believe it or not, we did see prints on Apple just 2 days ago up at the top. Yep.
No, that's fantastic. And I say here we go because, look, I was going to ask you, put you on the spot a little bit. I know this is your show, but what do you think that we continue lower? Like what are we looking at here? I'm kind of a perma bull, so I do kind of got to say that, and I think you know that from all of our discussions as well. I don't know if this is the right time to buy. I don't know if the continuation continues. I always talk, and it's kind of like-minded here, Jane, because I always talk about the 50 period as well on a daily chart, and I only like to go long or short if we are above or below that 50, and then watch what happens when you're at that mark. So I think if you call up a chart like JP Morgan and some of the banks, you'll see them just above their 50 period moving average. At least I think they were today. Again, I apologize, I'm not prepared with the charts here
no worries.
at this desk, but some of these are now breaking out of their 50 period moving average, including some of the travel stocks like Carnival's, like CCL as well. And for some reason, I can only see your face, so I can't see any of the charts that you're putting up right now.
Okay, here. Let me do screen share so that I can help you on that end. How about that? Screen share. There we go. Okay, yes. So we do have JP Morgan. You see this blue dotted line right here?
Hold on a second. Yeah, there we go. Now it's upside. There it is. Perfect. Yes.
So this blue dotted line, 200 EMA. Look at how every time we've sold off of it. We have seen a lot of dark pool activity in the bank financial sector. However, they've just sort of been going sideways almost. Like we have a slow upward channel. Every time it broke out, it came back down. We're still within that channel. If I draw one really quickly right here on JP Morgan, that it's still somewhat in this upward channel. If we go right here and bring it down, and then when it bounced up above, yeah, it came right back in and respected it and came to the upside. So much like if we show you Microsoft right here,
I like
Microsoft.
that channel. That's a great channel. It looks like we're breaking out on JP Morgan, right?
Yeah, well, we're above it right at the moment. It could retrace right back in. Same thing with Microsoft. Microsoft was outside of the channel, pulling right back in. I feel if we go below that 213.50 area,
Yeah.
that it will end up being a potential down, further pullback. Apple, we are below the prints right here.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Look how significant today's day is, though, right? Like that's covering up, a couple weeks or days there of trading. So I am thinking that this could be a blowout bottom just because of how dramatic this is. So I'm wondering if you're going to bounce off there. What was that yellow line there? Is that the 50 or?
This orange is the 20 SMA, and then this green dotted line is the 21 EMA. So it's coming midline of a Bollinger Band, basically right here. And I'm still feeling long and strong. You know me, I'm like, I want to be that bear, I want to be that bear. But the market right now isn't giving me 100% the bearish signals as of yet. We have seen some prints come in. Look at this, I have an upward trend line for the Qs. Guess what? We bounced off of it today. We also bounced off of the 15 EMA for the Qs, and we were testing it earlier on the SPY. We've tested it and we're still holding above it. So we might see that we are going to go ahead and have a massive rally right on up to 360, 365 for the SPY. Everything I think is very sympathetic today. It is all pulling back sympathetically with the indexes. Everyone's like, oh man, I gotta get out. But I'm not convinced as of yet. One of the big indicators that I do use, I just got an alert somewhere. One of the big, oh, there we go, my paper trade just stopped me out. So one of the biggest indicators that I use is this 425 EMA on a 45-minute chart. It roughly corresponds to the 4 EMA on a weekly chart. If we go below that, that's when I'm really ready to put my bear hat on. And right now, that's roughly 343 on the SPY. We could still come back down here, and we could go below it, and then as long as we close above it, I'm still a bull. So right now, I'm not officially convinced. Many times the first day they will take it down and then they bounce it right back up. If we go ahead, we might close above this downward trend line right here and surge even higher. I feel like we've had so many bear traps that the bulls or the really big guys keep trying to trap the bears. And they're like, let me suck you in today. Psych. Nope, we're taking it higher. Let me go ahead and squeeze you so you feel that max pain. You're forced to buy our shares, and we will see. We saw some bigger prints coming in, and we started to see big prints for the past couple of weeks on the SPY. However, I'm not 100% convinced yet. We're still in this upward channel, and when we look back in time, we have been in this upward channel pretty much back since May. It came up, it danced around a little bit higher, pulled back. Then again, June to right now, we've just been trading in this channel. So until we really break out of it, I'm still going to be a bull.
Yeah, look at the volume too. The volume's coming in a little bit there on the daily chart as well. So I think that does help some of the chart patterns and really gives some legitimacy. I know you talk about volume all the time as well. So your charts are a little more. Next time I'm on the show, I'll show you my charts. I don't have nearly as many lines as that one. And on the show today, I want you to guess at TraderTV.live, another YouTube show that of course I host.
Yep.
How many trades do you think I made today on the show in 3 hours?
I'm gonna say 35.
Yeah, so I should have said it's number of fills. So for example, if I take JP Morgan long 1,000 shares and I get out 100 at a time,
right,
that would sort of count as like 10 fills, right? So that's what I was giving to you. And actually, Jane, the number is north of 300.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm more of a scalping kind of trader, and I know we wanted to talk a little bit also about prop firms and what the difference is maybe between the style of trade that you make and the style of trade that I would make trading not only on our show, but also, a style trader that I am, and that is more of a scalping kind of style. So although I use very similar EMAs that you're using and whatnot, it's on a much tighter time frame chart. My favorite is I like to use a 1, a 3, and then long term, believe it or not, you might laugh at this, but it's a 12.
Wow.
So, yeah, that I prefer as my longest term time frame there on some charts. You get some good breakouts. I like 3-minute charts for sure. Today, one of my best trades was taking JP Morgan long off the open, and I think Walmart was about a 148. If you have Walmart up chart there, about a 148 break off the open. I think it was about 5 or 6 minutes in. We did have that, and then we got out in the 149 area before retracing it all the way back down. And that's what I wanted to let you and some of your viewers know. There's different ways to skin a cat. Is that Walmart there?
That is Walmart. Yeah, let me take off the volume profile to clean it up a little bit. There you go.
That's okay. If you see at the very open there, where was it? That first little break. Yeah, I guess it's right there. Yeah, right. Is that 148?
Yeah, 147.97 right here.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you took out 148, you see that little pop going to the top there. We were able to capture all of that momentum off the open, and then that's what we call scalping. So I'll take a little more shares maybe than I would if I was only planning on holding it for the day or looking for a greater move. But like I keep saying, there's many ways to trade, and I think that what we do on our show is more of a scalping type style. So I'll hit that there, even if you hit it for 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares, depending on your comfort level, and you get that 30, 40, 50 cents, then you hold the rest for the dollar. You can make your day a couple $100, couple $1,000 right off the open, and then you sort of, get to breathe a little bit and make a few more decisions as you go. But yeah, 300 trades in a day, and that's sort of how I do it. I didn't have too many moves to the downside. I did have a breakdown. I think it was that bottom break of that low. You have a mark there on the very far left. They bounced off a couple times. Again, I apologize. I can't see the exact right there. Yeah, you see how it stopped there, and then a couple more candles over, about 3 or 4 over. More bottoms, more bottoms. So when you come and test that, yeah, exactly, right there. When you test that candle and it starts to break down, you know there's not much support below that. So that was another trade that I had on Walmart. So you go long, and then you got to put on your other hat there and take a little bit of a bear approach when you see the momentum in the market. So long Walmart off the open, then short again, and a few more times. I liked Walmart and JP Morgan today.
Beautiful. And you guys, if you guys don't know, Trader TV Live is on starting. What time does your pre-market show start? 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock?
Come on, I got to get in.
You gotta have your coffee, right? And then, so 9 to 12, and you guys can check them out. And you guys, where do you guys trade? You guys trade live from?
Yeah, we trade live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So we have quite a nice trading floor here. I've invited you a few times to our floor here. We're in downtown Toronto. We have about 25 to 30 proprietary traders on the floor as well. And yeah, I don't know if Lucas will probably show the floor, but it's empty right now. We don't have anybody in. We have about 5 or 6. Can you see that, Jane, right now? Not yet. He's going to show our trading floor. When he gets a second, he's going to switch the cameras. Lucas, let me know when you can. There it is. I don't know if you can see that there, Jane, but
no, hold on. No,
soon.
because I don't. Hold on. Let me allow us to start video. I don't see it.
Okay, start video. I don't know. Lucas is going to figure
It's
this
all
out.
good. It's all good.
What I was getting at, it's okay. We don't have to do it now. We'll do it next time. But yeah, we're on the trading floor here, and it's about 25 to 30 proprietary traders through daytradingtheworld.com. And I've actually been trading for over 19 years, and it's been a very, very fun ride for me. And now we turn over to education, and that's sort of what we're all about. I know you're strong on that as well, and we always talk about building the trading community. Today, Jane, we just reached 77,000 subscribers. We had over 5,500 watchers at one point today, and I don't know how many views we'll see, but it's live trading, and I think that's a huge advantage to people that are just learning. My partner Neil and then Brendan on the news desk, we break news to people and to traders, and that they love that aspect. This is all free, just like you're doing your podcast right now as well, Jane. We are free live every o'clock. We also have our market wisdom page. It's called Stock Market Wisdom. You guys can Google that. That's up there on YouTube as well. We have over 90 educational videos, and I know you've done some spots with us at our early day as well, so I want to thank you for that, for helping us grow, and I hope I can do the same for you as well. But prop trading, have you ever been on a prop floor, or you just trade your own money?
No, I was never on a prop floor. I do work with Stephanie Cameraman, and she worked as an assistant for a prop trader for 2 years, basically learning how to paper trade. And no, I did it. I went and I got my Series 7, so I had my licensing in the States back 20 years ago. And now, nope, just trading my own money and was never part of a prop firm. But I find that that can be a good way for a beginner trader that might not necessarily have the capital to really learn the good habits.
No, hey, that's the one, and I'm glad you're bringing that up, and say what's up to Stephanie. But look, I think that paper trading, that's one thing here, and I'll keep talking about it because they're our #1 sponsor for the show, and it's daytradetheworld.com, and they start traders off with the ability to hire as many traders as you possibly can, and that's what I really do suggest. Hire traders and throw them into simulation. We call it simulation mode here, and it's exactly that, Jake. It's paper trading. I'm tired, really, to be honest with you, of listening to traders talk about blowing out their accounts. They log in and they just think, you know what, I'm going to drop 10 grand into a Robinhood account or whatever, Webull or whoever they're using, and the next thing you know, they're down 5 grand, and then they're down, they only have $1,000 left and they don't know what to do. And then they're like, I'm going to try to hit a home run, and then the next thing you know, that $1,000 is gone. Well, what you've done there is tried to learn, I guess, how to trade, but instead you jumped in. I mean, the market is like a fish, like a shark tank, and you're just a small fish when you begin. So my suggestion to everybody, please slow down. Whether or not you're in a prop firm, whether or not you're sitting at home trading, paper trade. Get your ideas. Get your ideas from someone like you, Jane. Watch our show, and that's again one of the biggest feedbacks that we get about TraderTV.live, and that is that not only are we entertaining, but we like to discuss our ins and our outs. We live trade on the show. I don't think there's another show out there that does that, to be honest with you, let alone as many times as we do. We take the trades, we give our viewers our ins and our outs. So it's a very, very exciting opportunity for a lot of people to watch our show and then get educated up. And I think that being on a prop floor, that's sort of where we built that relationship with our traders and the market. And you're 100% right, Jane. It all does start with a sort of a simulated environment. Don't throw real money at something until you have a successful story to back it up.
Yeah, exactly. I think that, the biggest thing is prove yourself on paper first. Like any profession, if you want to come to trading and make it your profession, you're going to have to put in that time to learn it. Anybody that gets their license, as long as they have the capital, could potentially go out and buy a Ferrari, but in less than a month, they'd probably crash and burn. Same thing with a trading account. If you had that sort of capital and you go ahead and you just jump into it, then you're probably going to go ahead and crash and burn as well. I just have a question here from John. He wanted some info on Tesla. So John, if you see, I do have the Tesla chart up. It does look like it's a bit of a descending triangle right here with a support area of roughly 408.90 or 408.80. Actually, I'll bring it down just a little bit lower down here, 406.80. And if we do break that today, let's take it to the daily chart. It looks like it's probably going to break down even further because we're in a bit of a downward trend at the moment, likely potentially a test of the 396 area, 395 area right here, and then next level down, potentially down to that 50 simple moving average, or the top right here at 335 right here.
Isn't it interesting how Tesla today, even though the market is getting destroyed, did we break 400 yet? It kept bouncing off 400 all morning and did not get going. So are we through 400 yet, Jane? Or?
Not yet, 405, but the bears look like they keep setting lower highs on it. We do have this nice triangle. Can you see it there on the chart? We do have this nice triangle, and it looks like it might be primed. I know that they had their offering for raising $550 no wait, that, excuse me, $5.5 billion. Here's a moving average. I have no idea if you use moving averages, Shawn. I don't think you do. I think it's really pretty simple. But I always use a 425 EMA, and you can see yesterday it just could not break it. It acted as a brick wall. Then we hit the 50 simple moving average. This is a 15-minute chart, and it just bounced, it rejected right there. And it just is not able to gain any steam. I think there might be some bag holders that are just trying to get out now that it's down $100 from the highs.
Let me give you a little bit of my theory on what's happening with Tesla right now. So stay tuned for September 22nd. That is battery day, at which that point I believe Tesla makes all-time new highs. That's September 22nd, so put that on your calendar as well. And then plus, what about this theory, Jane? Tesla right now, a lot of stockholders getting those split adjusted shares back into their accounts. We saw the run-up that Tesla had once announced split. They went up like, what, 20% or so after they announced that they were splitting. So what I think happens here is people waiting for the split. They wake up, they see in their account, you saw Tesla down yesterday, they wake up, they see in their account more shares, and they just dump it because they know that part of the run-up, and again, I'm talking about Apple as well here, part of the run-up in these shares were due to the fact, whether correct or not, this does happen. I know with your experience, you've seen it before. Stocks that announce splits, especially aggressive stocks like this that are already the darlings of Wall Street, when they announce splits, traders want to get in, and they want to get in early and tend to bump these stocks up to artificial highs. So I think that that's sort of what's happening here with Apple and with Tesla. People dumping, traders dumping shares that they have that they never had before. They want to take profit, and this is a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely, I mean, that's part of it. When you have that potential future stock split, it tends to run up. We saw nice movement on both Tesla and Apple. And yes, it's pulling back, but it seems like it's a bit overextended. We had it happen back here early July as well, and then it came back to the moving averages. We're close to that 21 EMA. 21 EMA on the daily for me is going to be more of a trend changer. And if we wanted to pull back, it could pull all the way back down to 282, 283 area, and it would still be in an upward trend right here. Actually, let me move this down here. Even just a little bit lower, down to 270 area, that 270, and it would still be in an upward trend overall on our daily chart. This just happens to be so overextended at the moment, in my opinion, that it could pull back, and I would say, hey, I'm going to jump on it down here at 270. It's still in that upward trend.
Yeah, no, I like Tesla, and I was actually lucky enough to buy some in my own account at 527 before the split back in March, and I was trying to average in, but you never know with these crazy names here. I did want to address a question. I actually opened up your chat here, and I see that the message was retracted by Power Trader there, but I did see it. You can't fool us. And it was about Robinhood, and I'm not negative at all on any traders like that. I just dropped that Robinhood name and Webull name because I do know that a lot of traders that are brand new into the game, and I don't blame you guys. I mean, you go over, trade non-commission platforms. I think that's fantastic. It's just, I think it is a fact, and you can look it up, that more new traders are joining Robinhood than ever before. And I think that when you join up a platform, you get excited because a lot of traders here, and maybe you talked about this on your show, but I'm sure you're familiar with FOMO, and a lot of traders get excited because, hey, my friend just made this much money, and I heard about that, and I heard about this. And the next thing you know, they're depositing funds into these accounts and sort of just buying on just excitement rather than really looking at some of the levels, which you do a fantastic job of looking and why are you getting in? And then once I'm in, what is my plan of action? And that's sort of what I mean about beginning traders. I myself was a beginning trader. We hire brand new traders all the time. I am a big proponent. I love teaching, and I think that that's what has to happen, and I know you have a passion for that as well. We both have kids. We see the growth in our kids as well, and I sort of treat new traders kind of along the same thing. If I can answer questions and help people grow as traders, then that for me is what's the most important, and I think that as we pass that along, and again, I don't mean to promote our show, but we are live every day from 9 to 12, and I just think that if some of your viewers and your followers want to just see a little bit more live action, I think you can come in, see if you like it, and if you don't, get out. But our show, that's what we do. when you were there. So nothing wrong with sharing the love, and thank you again for having me on today to support your show and ours.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. And I appreciate you coming on. And I think that's the big thing, is that people really need to educate themselves first. Anyone can really open up a trading account, but without the knowledge, likely you're going to see that trading account deplete itself very quickly. And I also have some good news for Canada as well, that I have been in talk with the CEO of Tasty Trade, and they are going to be coming to Canada. I will put the link down below if you guys are interested in updates on it. It should be happening fourth quarter. So they are going to the same commission structure in the US for US stocks. So it will be US securities and eventually US futures with the micro minis and minis, so that they are bringing that low price commission structure to Canada, which is going to be great. And one of the things about the apps for Webull and Robinhood is that where's the support? You know, it's very difficult to go ahead and get in, and then so many times their servers are not ready, they crash, they've got issues. You also, as a trader, great recommendation is to have a backup account so that if one goes down, you have another one. I'm sure you've experienced issues, Shawn, where you've lost the power or you haven't been able to access your account probably at least once, right?
Oh, yeah, probably about at least once. What we have sometimes is we'll go down. We have direct market access, and I noticed that sometimes, whether or not you're trading on NASDAQ in New York, there may be some problems with what we call the gateways themselves, or like the connection to an EdgeX or a BATS trading system. Sometimes those will go down, and I do share, some of those issues with, and feel bad for some of those Robinhood traders, because I know that they've been suffering. I think it was also, was it Thinkorswim, Jane, last week? One of them had some pretty big issues as well that were down, and I think it's just an overflooding of shares and of orders hitting their system, and unfortunately, yeah, that does happen, and it really does suck, because I do get a lot of questions about, hey, look, we day trade the world, who I work for is not available in the U.S., and I don't really have any brokers to promote in the U.S., because all I say to traders are, check to see the uptime, and you just mentioned it as well. How often do some of these apps or servers go down? Because you don't want to get stuck. Like if you're holding Apple today and you notice something in the morning off of one of your charts or something that you said, and it's crossing a line, and you look to say, hey, I want to get out of this position, you need to have the ability to do that, right? If you don't, then yeah, you're going to get stuck. So I would say, don't even worry about the commission structure. Just look for something that's very, very stable. Look, don't pay $10 a trade if you can pay $0, but make sure that you're able to get in and out of your trades. Another thing about Robinhood, I don't think that they trade pink sheets. So if you're trading a stock like a Hertz Global or Luckin Coffee that got voted back down to the pink sheet, you got to be careful of that, because you don't want to get stuck with those shares and not being able to transfer them over.
Definitely, definitely. I totally agree. Awesome, Shawn. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your perspective and sharing about your show for everyone. And if you guys have any other questions, I'll give you one more chance to ask a question for Shawn. Otherwise, we will go ahead and let him enjoy the rest of his afternoon. I appreciate your time.
Nobody can see me. I think you've been on the chat the whole time.
Yeah, but I can't see you. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know you were up. Look, hold on. Where am I? Stop sharing my screen. There we go. Awesome. Hold on. They can't see you yet.
I know. I've been up this whole time. I've been wondering
it's because it was on my other monitor. I wasn't looking up there. Sorry about that. You should have told me. You should have been like, hey, I got my camera working. So here's Shawn, the face behind the voice that you guys have been hearing this whole time.
Yes, so thank you, Jane, again. It's been fantastic. And look, let's try to do this again. And like you keep mentioning, we'll build the community and we'll keep getting stronger and stronger. I wish you best of luck. I know you just started with streaming and things like that. So everything that you're putting out seems to be very beneficial. I know you have a lot of followers there as well. So thank you for having me on. And again, it's TraderTV.live. Hopefully everyone can check it out. And we'll love to have you back on soon as well when we're taking guests again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shawn. Have an amazing afternoon.
Thank you, Jane. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye. Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon.